Hi children, welcome back to the lesson. Actually I started first lesson and already it is explained by other teachers, so that I am moving for second lesson, that is chapter 2, soil erosion. Soil erosion. Okay, soil erosion and conservation of soil. Soil erosion and conservation of soil. चलो बच्चे, इससे पहले आपको ये सीखना है कि सॉइल है क्या, मिट्टी. What is called soil actually, right? So here soil is a physical thing, or we can call it as natural resource. वो अपना नेचर में मिलने वाला एक सोर्स है, soil. And soil has formed from the weathering of bedrock into different forms. For example, if here it is the earth. Now if you go deeper into the earth crust, then you could find different layers here. अगर आप धरती के अंदर गया तो डिफरेंट लेयर्स मिलता है आपको. इसमें जो लास्ट वाले अर्थ क्रस्ट में लास्ट वाले जो लेयर है, it is called as bedrock. It is called as bedrock. The last one, it is bedrock. And this bedrock, it get broken up into pieces. Means these are rock pieces, we can call stones. जो कुछ भी बड़ा bedrock है वो ब्रेक हो जाके छोटी छोटी पीसेस का रॉक्स बन गया, right? And again exposing to the sunlight and sun heat, weather, climate and coolness, hotness. Because of these weather changes, these rocks they become pebbles. मतलब यहाँ जो बड़ा स्टोन्स है वो स्टोन्स अब पेबल्स बन गए, छोटी छोटी पेबल्स. And again exposing to the weather climatic condition, they become small sand particles. वो अब सैंड बन गया, पेबल्स सैंड बन गया. बाद में ये भी एक्सपोज होके वेदरिंग प्रोसेस, इट इज कॉल्ड वेदरिंग प्रोसेस. by the weathering process, even the sand also it becomes small particles, and we call it is soil. It is soil. So how do the soil is formed? Soil is formed from the weathering of bedrock into many stages. So here bedrock become rocks, pieces of rocks, and pieces of rocks they become stones and pebbles. These become sand, and sand becomes soil. So for the formation of soil, a soil बनने में near about some hundreds of years it takes. Hundreds of years it takes to become rock as a soil. So it is very precious natural resource. It seems to be very common but very precious. देखने में आज धरती को क्या है, सॉइल क्या है, कहाँ भी मिलता है अपन को, लेकिन बहुत ही important natural resource है soil. So here this is what we called soil, which is made from the bedrock. It is made from the bedrock by the process of weathering. Right. However, here the soil that is available on the surface of the earth, that is what we call soil. And we, not only we, human beings, plants and animals, every one of us, we are depending upon the soil, either directly or indirectly, whatever it may be, we are depending upon the soil. For example, if you want to construct the house, we require some wood and wooden material. This wood is came from the plant, and we know that plant is utilizing the soil, and by the help of soil it grow. When there is soil there is plant, when there is plant there is furniture and house. So we are depending indirectly. And as well as even it gives us food, it gives us shelter, it gives us cloth, everything we are getting from soil, but not directly. Whatever it may be, directly or indirectly, we are depending upon the soil. For example, in olden days they used to prepare the pots. these parts are made up of soil. So this is direct dependence. Have you understood? Like this we are depending upon it. And as well as here the soil, whatever the soil, surface soil that you are seeing, it always keep going on changing. It keeps going on changing. For example, either by the wind or water or earthquakes, tsunamis, or any natural disaster, volcanic eruption, landslides. So within some days, the land may be changes, or otherwise. For look at this. From the bedrock, if you want to form a soil, it takes hundreds of years. It is taking 100,000 lakhs of years. But whereas some natural disaster, they can able to change the structure of the soil within days or within minutes. It can be changed. However, the soil is always keep going on changing. So remember, here all the living things, they directly or indirectly depends upon the soil. So for getting shelter, for getting food by the plants, and some animals, they take shelter under the soil layer, mean beneath the soil. They burrow the soil and they live there for hibernation and aestivation. Ants, rats, snakes, etc., they live in the soil. So soil is a home for us and for animals, and as well as it gives nutrients to the plants to grow. So every living things directly or indirectly depends upon the soil. And let us see what is soil erosion. What is soil erosion? So here among all these layers, the upper layer, the top layer of the soil is very important. Top layer of the soil is very important. So here removal of this top layer, by the wind, water, or any reasons, if the top layer of the earth surface it get rid of, then it is called soil erosion. It is called soil erosion. कोई भी कारण रहने दो, या पानी, या wind, या human being, or otherwise any natural disaster, any storm, whatever it may be, if the top layer of the earth surface get removed, then it is called soil erosion. What we call it is soil erosion. Actually, there are many reasons for the soil erosion, maybe wind or water. So let us take the wind and water as the causes, and first we'll begin with the water causing soil erosion. How the water erodes the soil. For example, when it rains, some rainwater it soak into the deeper layer and it become what you call groundwater, and some water can be stored in the water bodies and they may evaporate, and some water can evaporate. Here some water it is entering into the groundwater, it soaks, and some water evaporates. The rest of the rainwater it flows over the land as a stream, right? Some water is filling in the water body, some water evaporating, some water groundwater, and remaining water will flow on the surface of the land or soil. Here as it flows, it takes the soil along with it, and thus it causes the soil erosion. For example, if it is a hill region, when it is flowing from the hill region, whatever the soil nutrients or soil particles that are present here, they vanish, they move along with the running water, so that the top layer soil it comes along with the water. This is what we call soil erosion. If the flow is faster, the faster the flow, the water, then there is more soil erosion it causes. So heavy soil erosion occurs in the hill region. I already told you that. In the hill slope, why? Because the water speed is very high. With that very high speed, it can vanish the soil particles and it erodes the soil. Even when the flow is very fast, the bank of the river